And I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls.
Today we're doing another Project 2015 video where we talk about book to movie adaptations, and obviously we're going to be talking about Mockingjay Part 2 from the Hunger Games series. This is our Project 2015 and it's nearly the end of 2015, so we've actually nearly done a whole year of these book to movie adaptations. We've done all the ones we wanted to apart from The Martian because didn't like the book, didn't want to see the film, just look over that. But yeah, so we were going to talk about the Mockingjay Part 2 today and what we thought about it, how it compared and generally how good it was.
It's been so long since I read Mockingjay. I remember reading it for the first time and hated it a lot. I didn't even finish it. And then I reread it and then I really enjoyed it. But I think a part of the reason I didn't like the book was that it didn't feel like the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is like set in the games and then it doesn't happen. But in the film, like when Finnick has that line, like, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 76 Hunger Games," I was like, that's a good idea. Because it's like making more like their journey through the city to get to the mansion in the capital. More like the Hunger Games itself. And I just really enjoyed it. I actually think the movie's better than the book. But only because I really, really enjoyed it. But I hated Part 1. Mockingjay Part 1 is my least favourite. I don't even like it as a film. I got really, really bored. They saved all the action for this point, and it was so good.
Yeah, this was definitely my favourite film in the series, but I actually really enjoyed Mockingjay Part 1. I think I had lower expectations for it because for the Hunger Games and Catching Fire, I did like them, but I found them very slow going and just not as good as I was expecting them to be. So I think I went into Mockingjay Part 1 with like pretty low expectations, so I was pleasantly surprised, whereas in the first one I was a bit disappointed. And this one, again, I didn't have low expectations, but I thought, does it really need to be 2 parts? And I think it, even though the first part was a bit slow, it definitely did, because all the action in this one was done so well. It was so exciting. The tension when they were underground with those scary monsters. Oh my god, I've never felt so tense watching a film before, because I don't really watch horror films. But when there was a little hole in the wall and some of them were like climbing through and looking back to each other, I was just like, oh no. And then you kept thinking it was just going to happen, like the music would stop. And then it didn't, and it just really drew it out, which made it really scary and really good. I was happy with how they like kept all the deaths the same as because I expected them to change it because they normally do. I don't know, I thought they'd make them a little bit more, not more dramatic, but like Prim is very quick in the book and it was very quick in this. It's just kind of, you don't really realise it's happening, so you just kind of, you see a shot of Prim and then boom.
Fire.
Which is how it happens in the book too, but I expected them to maybe make it a little bit more obvious and emotional, but they didn't. Finnick's death was again a lot like, I thought they might change that and take it out the tunnels.
It was horrible.
But that was really sad. I love Finnick. I think I'm Team Finnick. If I had to choose between Gale and Peter, I think I'd choose Finnick.
Same. I don't like Gale or Peter that much. Especially in this film, because Peter's all like counteracting the Draco Jack of Venom. He's not himself. It's like we're missing Peter for the entire film. And Gale's just doesn't seem... Gale's been very cardboard all the way through. You're never sure whether you need to like him or not. You're never sure whether he's better for Katniss or not. He probably is. But Peter and Katniss have gone through together too much to not fall in love in the end. And the ending was perfect, as we're talking about the love triangle. I really did like it.
Yeah, that's something in the book that I wasn't like a huge fan of. Like the whole... It felt really depressing with the whole like they're dancing on the graves of District 12 and all that. Like, but obviously it didn't do that in the film, specifically like point that out. No, I liked how happy and stuff it was, because when you talked about it, I remember you saying like she deserves some happiness after everything she's gone through. I think that's definitely true. And I like how at the end there's not some big dramatic moment where Peter and Katniss are like, oh, you know, we love each other. It's just like they're both in the house suffering, and then she just goes in to him for a cuddle because neither of them can sleep because of all their nightmares, and then that's it then, and then you just see them in the future. So it's not like a big dramatic moment of like, we're okay because we love each other. It's like a really subtle thing about coping with like all the PTSD and stuff after everything they've gone through.
I really wish that we had more Haymitch in this film.
Oh, that's true.
Just because I love him so much. They need to do like another... Suzanne Collins needs to write another book.
Prequel.
With Haymitch.
Yeah. Because
he is a brilliant character who needs to be explored more. And also the ending as well with the Effie saying goodbye to Katniss and being really nice. That got to me. Because I really like Effie. The biggest letdown though, Caesar Flickerman. How dare he be a loyalist? I was so upset with him. I was like, I liked you, but
Yeah.
it was stayed with the capital. It made me sad.
Also, I don't know if this happened in the book, but you know when Effie and Hamish kiss at the end, does that happen in the book? That surprised me a bit in the film. A cheeky little kiss. I quite liked it though.
I like it.
Because I really like Hamish.
It makes sense.
It's so much, and like you say, Effie, I really like it because it shows kind of the bad guys aren't always bad. You know, it's not like a good and a bad. They're all mixed and can support different things. I really liked President Coin, not as in what she did, but I thought like the acting and stuff of her was really good.
I love that actress.
Yeah.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Is it Julie Waters? No.
I don't know.
She's in Evolution, that's one of my favourite films. But yeah, I absolutely adore her. I love her hair,
Yeah.
she's so pretty and she's so evil.
I thought
The
she was
Hunger
so
Games
good
moment
at
bit.
being like subtly evil because
Yeah.
you didn't know if you should like her or not. Like up until that moment when she says we should have a Hunger Games with the Capital's children, but it still kind of made sense because she said like people are going to want blood and it makes sense to kill a small group of people and get peace than kill loads of people and like still not really get peace. So it still sort of made sense.
Yeah.
But obviously it was wrong because it just would
Yeah.
be repeating history. But I like that. It just really showed like the balance of war, how there's no like directly good and bad people and there's no like right or wrong way to deal with it. And even having Katniss as like the martyr and stuff isn't really solving things, and it's all promo and false, and I thought it's a really good like representation of war and just really interesting. I loved it.
Was Snow dying in the book? Is that a thing, or did they put that in the film?
I don't think it. I can't remember. In the book, there's something like he's not dying, but he's poisoned. Someone poisoned him, or he is poisoned, and it gives him like all these mouse sores that bleed all the time, and that's why like because in the book she says like his blood, his breath smells of blood, and then you see him coughing up blood, so it's like that's why it actually does. Because
I felt like from the film it felt like they were implying that he was dying anyway, which I didn't understand.
I don't think that he was dying, just that he was like, well, I think it was a bit of both. It was sort of made him just look like twisted and gross because it's like why is he coughing up blood all the time, but also it's kind of like showed you he was an old man.
Yeah.
It kind of...
He didn't really
But he
have
had
any
all this
power.
hate, but it's like he's really just like a powerless old man who is just like a figure for something but isn't really doing anything.
I still don't like Plutarch Heavensby. The games makers were the worst people.
Yeah.
Them pods were scary.
Oh god, yeah, the one with all the black water
the
goo.
tar.
That was horrible.
We didn't focus enough on how Peter actually murdered someone.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of
that
skipped
was really,
over.
Yeah, that was sad.
But we'll let him off because
Yeah.
it's Peter. The execution of Snow was very tense.
Yeah, it like really was slow and drawn out, and Coin was just stood there. And I remember in the book being much like a lot more surprised by it, and in the film I knew. But obviously I knew because I've read the book. But I felt like it was obvious that she was going to shoot Coin.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have shot Coin then shot Snow though, because shooting Coin made her seem like she was sided with the Capitol. Whereas if she shot Coin first then Snow, it'd be more of a statement of like they're both as bad as each other.
Yeah, in the end though, like what Coin was saying about people getting like needing their revenge for blood, like because she let people tear Snow apart, that like kind of solved everything. Like everyone got what they wanted then, and then no one was in charge. Who was in charge?
It was that woman from District 2.
Oh.
Who was all like who was kind of like against some. You know when they caved in the District 2 thing, and she was all like, no, that's not good. And she was like the sensible one. Yeah. I think it was like implied that she got voted in and things like that after that.
Good.
It was sad though. The actor that plays Plutarch Heavensby actually died like halfway through filming Mockingjay, and I think that's why they had the letter at the end. You know, Hamish delivers his letter.
Yeah.
I think that's why there was a letter, because they hadn't filmed that scene yet. Because I feel like they would have just had Plutarch come in and talk to Katniss.
Oh, but obviously they couldn't if he'd died. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's sad.
I
was surprised there wasn't a big in-loving memory thing like when the film ended though. There probably was in the credits, but I thought it would have been like right at the end.
Yeah.
Like right at the start of the credits they might have said it, but...
I think we pretty much said all we nearly have to say, apart from one of our favourite bits in the entire film was where, like as we've talked about Prim's death being too quick and Katniss doesn't really have time to react. The bit where she does at the end when she goes home finally, and it takes her to get home and she's like lying on the sofa in a house and she sees the cat who I thought when I saw it, I was like, that cat's CGI. And then she like started throwing things at it, and I was like, oh good, yeah, it is CGI. But that was so emotional, and it just got to me so much, that bit.
Because I did think, like, after Prin's death, I was surprised you didn't really I was expecting her to cry. Like, when everything was all done and she was in the hospital bed with her mum and stuff, I thought, when's she going to cry? Like, when's she really going to show it? And she didn't. And I thought, is she that like, hardened that she's not even going to break down about her little sister, which is the whole starting point to everything, was her trying to save Prim, and she doesn't.
Oh.
Like, in the end point,
oh God,
she still doesn't save Prim. Like, all of it was kind of for nothing, I suppose, in terms of, like,
oh God,
for Katniss and her sister. The whole point was to save Prim from dying from the Capitol, and it still doesn't
I never
work.
thought about it like that. That's so vile.
Yeah.
She volunteered to save her, and in the end she still didn't save her. If she just let Prim go into the games, though, Prim would have died. Katniss would have still been alive, but they still would have had to live in that society, but they've changed it all.
Well, yeah, it's not for nothing in terms of, like, all the revolution, but if you just look at it in that, like, really small way.
It's like Prim was the Mockingjay, really.
Yeah.
Because she
the whole
changed
point
everything.
of the revolution. She was, like, the reason it happened was because she got chosen. If she wasn't chosen, nothing would have happened. So it's strange. But yeah, that bit with the cat, God. I was really filling up and crying because it was really emotional. It showed how good of an actress Jennifer Lawrence is as well. Like, I knew it anyway, but
she was
really good. Like, all of them were, though. There wasn't anyone who I thought was, like, a dodgy actor. They were all on point.
So we love the film, we love the book. All Hunger Games gets 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's one of the best dystopias out there. Let us know down below if you liked it or didn't like it. We'd love to know what you think. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.